What's going on? No one. So no one's joined my live stream, and I've been going 12 seconds by now. It's very disappointing. Very detrimental to my mental health. Let's see. What else can we talk about? It's been 25 seconds now. Nobody has been like. You know what? I don't even know if this is a private live stream. I've been messing up live streams a lot. Let me make sure I didn't make this private because I'll be doing that sometimes. Oh wait, someone joined. Okay. So it's not private. Sometimes I screw up. I screw up things a lot. Quite a bit sometimes, to be honest with you. I'm just actually messing around with other settings. What's up, one person? Thanks for joining. Or thanks for accidentally clicking on the link, if that's what happened in your case. We got 3 people here now. That's what I like to see. Just driving home. Figured, let's go live. My shirt's all messed up. Makes it look like I have a lot of cleavage. I don't have that much cleavage, I'll be honest with you. I don't really work out. Also, don't have any masses growing behind my boobs. Um, that was just my shirt being wrinkled. I'm assuming these 3 people here are spam bots because I don't see no chats coming through. But shout out to the spam bots if y'all following. Helps my algorithm, my YouTubeness. Oh, 2 spam bots left? That's messed up. They're like, dang it, he's on to us. We're out of here. But yeah, it's Friday, 4:15 in the PM in great city of Austin, Texas. I'm here driving home, seeing if anyone's gonna pop on, figure something to talk about. Cause sometimes I'll be driving home, I just be bored. I mean, I'm listening to music or comedy or something, but I just be bored still. So now I can at least be bored while talking to myself, cause that's healthy. You know what? I actually wondered, like, if like people that go to like psychiatrists, because they're like, I hear voices in people. Where you're like, I can stay in and meet all the people in my head. I think. Carvana, what's going on? Says hello or says hi. Let me say it correctly. And we got Osman. I can't pronounce your last name. I don't want to ruin it. So hey brother, what's up, man? Where you going? I'm headed home. Just left work. It's back there. You can't see it in the rear view, but it's back there. Uh, Alf Afmau 8 through 10 said hi. Hi, how's it going? Lexi Renfro says Acts 2:38. Truth to be saved is God's way of salvation. Go read. You know what? Look. Bam! I actually got that right here in my back seat. Uh, Hi again. Doodoo Head, what's up? Carlos Reyes says Doodoo Head. I like that, man. I ain't heard Doodoo Head in a long time. I like that. That's a throwback. Throwback to when people were kids. What is your genders and pronouns? Baldy. I like that. Oh, dude, I'm gonna start putting that when people are like, "Hey, what's your pronouns?" It's bald. I identify as someone who has hair. Lexi says, "Go read. You need to read." I still don't pronounce the name. Do you have a daughter? I have 0 daughters. Although people said that I was gonna have a daughter because I used to do photography and I would take pictures of scantily clad women. That was my thing. And people were like, "You're objectifying women. You're gonna have a daughter, 2 sons." Bam. That's what I'm talking about. Because I didn't objectify women. I created art with those women. Thank you for the women who helped me create that art. Twisted Dev says, "What's up, man? Hope you have a good day." Hey, thanks a lot, man. I hope you have a great day too. Uh, MNKPO says, "Bro, I'm bald too." That's what I'm talking about. Keep it bald. Ducky Radio Official says, "What's up?" Hey, what's up? Lexi Renfro says, "Are you gonna read Acts?" I have a hard time reading the chat right here. I can't really read Acts right now. The print is small in the New King James version. Actually, it's small in every version, I think. Ducky Radio Official says TikTok live. You know, I have TikTok. I don't really use TikTok. I post on TikTok, but I don't use TikTok. Like I don't look at TikTok. TikTok is weird. I don't use it, so the algorithm is very bizarre. One time it was showing me a bunch of people pulling really humongous boogers out of their nose, and I'm like, I never searched that. Why is that in my algorithm? Nobody could explain it to me. They're like, oh, it goes off based off what you search. I guarantee I've never searched that in my life, but it happens. So yeah, I don't really do that. I don't do TikTok too much. Afmau says is one of them bad. Nah, my kids are both good. In fact, one time we were eating, and this lady came up and she was like, "Are those your kids?" She was a white lady. "Are those your kids?" And I was like, I was upset. I was like, man, she trying to beef with my kids. But she was actually complimenting my kids. She was like, your kids are so well behaved. They look like they actually love each other. I was like, they do. Thank you very much for that compliment, lady. Now go away from my table. I'm trying to enjoy my pizza. Lex Renfrey says, on your free time, I mean, oh yeah, we'll read on free time. Southwest Car Punter says, HBK screwed Bret Hart. I'm sure Bret Hart is very upset. Taji says, I got a buzz. Winter is near. Gotta feel some cold air. All right, man. White says, please see my comment. I did. It's crazy. The Real Life Perspective Show says, what up, Sonny? Happy Friday. What's going on, man? Hey, I'm going to try to make it out to Bat City Toys tomorrow if you're going to be out there. I don't know if you're going to be out there for their, what is it? The harvest sale. If you're in Austin, Texas, check out the harvest sale at Bat City Toys tomorrow, Saturday, October 4th. I forgot what day it was. Osmond says, I hate TikTok. It's stupid. White says, I scrolled 8 different lives and nobody saw my comment. I saw, is this the comment that you want me to see? I saw that one. Nikki Visagi says, a bunch of YouTubes. White said, I don't know what, I don't know what that says. Don Hector says, you look like Dana White. I get that a lot. I get Dana White, Pitbull. I used to get Paul Wall when I had hair, but those are 3 that I've been getting a lot more recently. Let's see. Sean says the algorithm on TikTok goes off what your camera sees. Oh, that's hilarious, dude. I gotta stop picking my boogers on my camera then. Nikki Versace says YouTube is now #1. That's what I'm talking about. Thug says, have you ever been called a twat? Yes, I live in Texas. We get called all kinds of things. Nikki Versace, Earths, and other stuff. All right. White says, ever heard of Manners? I don't think a lot of people have heard from Manners on this. Osmond says, are you from Texas? That's right, baby. ATX represented. There's the airport right there. Vessel says, hi. Hi, Vessel. The Real Life Perspective Show says, sweet, I'll see you tomorrow, bud. Yeah, I'm going to try to make it out there. I got to do something in the morning, the afternoon, but I'm going to try to squeeze that in between. Afmau810 says, say this to people that are mean. Excuse me, these are my children. My bad, I gotta concentrate to turn. My self-driving car had to switch lanes. Osmond says, I heard you have the best barbecue. Is it true? Yes, it is true. I was out in California a couple years back, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try some California barbecue to see how well it does up to Texas barbecue. And the only barbecue places I could find said Texas style barbecue. And I was like, I can get that at home. So I didn't try any barbecue in California. Supposedly Kansas City has it better. I don't know that. I don't know that that's a fact. But if I'm ever in Kansas City, I'll try it out. I'll try it out and I'll be like, this is disgusting. Spit it on the floor. White says, so I would appreciate it if you watched them and subbed. Maybe even a comment. You talking about on your channel, or what do you have on your channel, White? I have too many channels to keep up with. I have this channel, which is actually a toy channel. I have a comedy channel. I have a channel that I used to just post everything on. The algorithm's all screwed up on that one. And I have several copyright strikes because I filmed a few music videos for some rappers here in Austin. Those fools let them videos get copyright strikes, so they messed up that channel. So that channel can't be monetized ever. This one is monetized. The other ones are not. But I had to separate everything. Gotta keep it separate. White says my vids. I'll have to go check them out again. Hey, do me a favor, White. Leave a comment on this video, not like in the live stream, but as a comment, and I'll go check out some of your videos. Ellie Clark says, chat, he is a Kamala supporter. Who is Kamala? Oh, Kamala, I don't do politics, so I don't really know. I don't know what she stands for or anything. I don't even know what Trump stands for. I'll make fun of anybody. I'll give you that. I'll make fun of anybody. It don't matter to me. Sometimes I make fun of one of the candidates and people be like, "Oh, you're this." I'm like, "Not really. I just like having fun." White says I have two shorts videos. One has 50 views. Dope. All right. Yeah, man. It's hard to get views on YouTube. If you don't know how to play with the algorithm, is ridiculous how to do it. Rahul Roy says, "Are you Johnny Sins or Andrew Tate?" That's a new one. I haven't been compared to those two. Andrew Tate's a bald guy, right? I don't know who Johnny Sins is. Elvis Pye says, "Diddy got 50 months, not enough." 50? Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, that fool was like. So some people were tripping out. They were asking, they were like, "Why is Diddy getting in trouble for the actions of other grown adults?" But Diddy's not getting in trouble for that. He's getting in trouble for prostitution. Like, he hired people to have sex with other people. That is prostitution. I mean, I don't understand how people are like, I don't know why he's in trouble. Because of that. That's why he's in trouble. Now, had he been making movies, I think he would have been safe. He didn't make movies. That's where it's at. It wasn't recorded. That's where he's in trouble. All I'm saying is, if you're gonna, I don't condone prostitution, but if you're gonna do what you got to do, record it, put it on video, and then you're out of trouble. I'm not a lawyer. I just want to throw that out there. I played one in a movie, but I'm not a lawyer. I just want to throw it out there. I don't know how that would do in legal defense. I'm just saying, for your sake and others. Future Embassy says, "I like your haircut. Where did you get it?" I actually did it at home myself. I tried myself. I watched a YouTube video, and I was like, "How to shave your head properly," and it showed me just a lot of videos of how to shave your legs from a lot of like random ladies, and I just applied that same logic to my head. I think it worked out pretty good. Rahul, let's see. Boko says, "You upset about P Diddy?" I'm upset that he changed his name so many times. I remember when he was Puff Daddy, because I'm old, and when he was Puff Daddy, I was like, "That's kind of a cool name." And then he changed to, what did he change to? Then he changed to Puffy. Then he changed to P Diddy. Then he went to Diddy. I mean, it's not as bad as like Snoop Dogg going to Snoop Lion for a little bit, but it's still kind of weird. Rahul Roy says, "I like your mustache. It's like a 5 o'clock shadow." I shaved this, and I don't like mustache. I don't like my mustache. I used to rock a mustache, and I saw some old photos of me in a mustache, and I was like, I looked at my wife like, "Why did you let me leave the house like that?" I looked dumb. Like, I didn't even look like a guy that has a garage band trying to make it by playing like cover songs of the Beatles and Foo Fighters. I just look dumb with my mustache, so I don't do mustache no more. I make sure I try to keep it off. I do like the beard though. I gotta keep the beard, keeps the jawline looking strong. And without the beard, my jawline looks kind of weak. Like, if I ever want to be a superhero, like if they're like, "Sonny, we want you to be Superman, but you gotta shave," I'm like, I'm gonna have to be a bearded Superman. You shave me, and then my jawline goes away, and then I don't have that chiseled jaw anymore. It looks like they chiseled my jaw off. Like, you know how the Sphinx doesn't have like a nose? That's how my jawline is if I don't have a beard. So I gotta keep my beard all the time. Boko says, "P Diddy is a misunderstood, gentle soul, wrongly portrayed, and I will wait for him and write every day." That's so sweet of you. Rahul Roy says, "Are you Muslim?" No, I'm not Muslim. I just showed a Bible here a minute ago, and then we got Lexi Renfro here. Acts 22:38. Yeah, truth to be saved. Hold on, gotta merge with this vehicle's. Let me. Truth to be saved. It's God's way of salvation. Go read and read further down, and it says that then you shall receive the. I'm thinking that's supposed to be gift of the Holy Ghost with the evidence of speaking in tongues. Man, the first time that I heard someone speaking in tongues at church when I was a kid, I didn't know what was going on. And then my mom said it like if I was supposed to know. I'm like, "You're supposed to teach me that stuff, Mom." Because I was like, what are they doing? And she goes, they're speaking in tongues, duh. And I was like, first of all, don't tell your kid duh when I'm asking you a question, mom. I don't know what's going on. And she was like, oh yeah, they're speaking in tongues. And she didn't elaborate on that. It took me a while before I figured out what she was talking about. Savage Saint, what's going on? Says, yo. Mr. Muscle says, are you Muslim? I'm not Muslim. I think I answered that just like 4 minutes ago for you. I mean, it may have been like more than 4 minutes ago. Lex Renfro says, it's God's spirit and his power is heavenly language. Yeah, I just didn't know what it was. Like, oh, this is dope. There's a pet farm van riding next to me. Man, can you imagine someone like, I'm not saying, but if they got into an accident and animals went loose everywhere, it would be a tough decision for me. Like, do I stop and render aid, or do I stop and go chase down this wallaby? Like, I'd be torn between the two options. I wouldn't know which one to do, to be honest. I think I would be like, hey, can somebody check on the driver? I gotta go chase down this wallaby. Christopher Adams, what's up, man? Says Christ is King, brother. He saved me from myself 8 years ago. Music UM22 says, I just took a dump thinking about you. That's so sweet, man. I'm so glad that like you thinking about me made such a gave you such an impact that it loosened your bowels. I've never had anybody mention or like say that kind of comment towards me, so that's kind of nice. I appreciate that. Boko says, I pray for Muslims. They're so misguided. White says, yo, I commented on that Superman Lion vid. All right, dope, man. I'll go check out your shorts. Not right now, but in a bit. La Raza says, free Palestine. White says, I didn't know what to comment. LOL. It's all good, man. Just something that I see your video channel pop up. What was I talking about? Wallabies. That's right, wallabies. So if a wallaby got loose right here on this stretch of road, it'd be very dangerous. Um, it'd be really dangerous if the wallaby got like stranded here. Like I'd have to go run out in traffic. I'd be like, stop in the name of the law. I gotta find this wallaby. And then they'd be like, oh crap, we gotta stop. We gotta stop. That guy's a cop. But I was like, I didn't identify as a cop. I just told y'all to stop, and y'all stopped. Um, if y'all didn't know, I'm in Texas. That's why I just had that handy. Um, but yeah, no, I imagine if a wallaby got loose, I'd have to stop traffic. Quickest way to stop traffic would be wave a firearm in the air. Second quickest way, take your pants off. I think that's more of a Florida thing right there. I do like reading about Florida stuff. Florida's wild. I've been to Florida too. I tried the barbecue in Florida. We'll go back to the barbecue from earlier comment. I did try the barbecue up in Florida. Their chicken was, what's the word? What's the opposite of flavorful? Flavorless. It was flavorless chicken, and their brisket was very dry. Like the brisket was so dry, I was like, I should put chapstick on this brisket because I think it's gonna crack. But that was just one place in Florida. I will say their sweet tea was delicious. Probably gave me diabetes. Um, their what was it, cornbread that they had? The cornbread was really good. I don't know what they did in that cornbread, but it was delicious. But and then I had their turkey. The turkey was pretty good. Their barbecue turkey was pretty good. I did like that one. I will say I like that one. But yeah, I'm just hearing traffic now. Now I'm stuck. I'm stopped. Why when I'm stopped nobody has comments? There we go. Savage Saint says, don't they throw pew pews in at the car dealerships down there for sales incentive? Oh man, that'd be so. Actually, way back in the day, there was a dealership that if you got a truck, they would throw in I want to say a Remington shotgun if you got a certain truck, or like if you were pre-approved or whatever. I was like, man, that's a pretty cool way to get a gun. Like they'd be like, oh man, I shot that deer right there using my Chevy Silverado free shotgun. But yeah, Texas is wild like that. Actually, one time my cousin, I forgot where he worked. He worked for some state department, and he was like, "Hey man, do you want to buy a raffle ticket, $15, and you can win an AR-15?" I was like, "What? This is actually funded by the government? He's like, yeah, they had this extra AR-15, so they were raffling it. I was like, man, that's dope. Give me 2 tickets. I didn't get it. I didn't win it. I was kind of upset. I was like, I could have put that $30 towards actually buying a gun. But I think it went to a good cause. I have no idea what the cause was though. Let's see what the Mexicanos are selling. Looks like they're selling. Wait, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Mango. It looks like olives. That's weird. It's a new one. Never seen them selling olives. Kenneth Christensen says, "Hi, Sonny. Hope your day is going fab. It's going pretty good. Thank you very much for that." Nightbot says, "Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. Like and subscribe." I like Nightbot. No, Nilakshi says, "Hello and wait. Super chat me any one person." But no drive, everything okay, says Sengiz. Sengiz? Sengiz? I don't know. I probably just messed up my monetization on that comment. By mispronouncing the name. Savage Saint says, I'm going to NYCC next week. Lucky, dude. Let me know if I can grab you something. I gotta see, man, because yeah, there's some crazy things that they got going up there. Nilakshi says, hello, the Sunny. Hello, Nilakshi. Um, hey, NYCC. It's crazy. I had a what was it? NYCC. Yeah, there's some. Man, they got a lot of stuff. I'm glad that you're going out there, man. That's dope. One day I'll make it out. One day I'll make it out to any Comic Con that's not Paris, Texas Comic Con. Um, I haven't even been to the Austin Comic Con. That's how terrible I am at this. Lexi Renfro says, read the whole chapter of Acts. Neil actually says, any one person help me. I am Indian. I am Indian. Are you Indian, like from India, or like commonly mistaken Native American Indian? I always wonder. I always ask people that when they say they're Indian. I went to some sensitivity classes, and so I'm supposed to like say things the right way now, which is crazy because of the fact that I'm a comedian and I say a bunch of things incorrectly, politically incorrect. I think that's the word I'm looking for. And then I went to a class for work to learn how to say everything politically correct. I won't say woke. That doesn't make any sense. Sengiz says Krishna everywhere. Krishna is, don't tell me, don't tell me. Is it the elephant? I don't know if it's the one. Is it the elephant? Krishna is it, or is Krishna the blue deity with the multiple arms, or the elephant with the multiple arms? I can't remember. I don't even know if I'm any close to that. Any clue would be great. I'm not one of those YouTubers that's like I know everything. There's a lot of stuff I don't know. Like I don't know how to treat a wallaby if I were to catch one. Some of you are like, what's with the wallaby? This guy right here, Fry's Fun Farm. It's a petting zoo, petting zoo here in Texas, apparently. If we need some goats, or I want to say he has a wallaby. I don't know that that's true. Fry's Fun Farm for all petting needs. Kalashni, I'm sorry, Nilakshi says any, I don't know what that means. Anyone Radhi? Krishna is a very nice guy. Where are you going? I'm going home. Sengiz. Krishna help anyone utter Pradish. But that's what I'm saying though. Which one is Krishna? Is it the blue or the elephant? I don't know which one it is. Yes, you are Indian. I will confirm that. Like if somebody's like, "Hey, is Nilakshi Indian?" I'll be like, "I can confirm Nilakshi's Indian." I'll be like, not the Native American kind, not Native American Indian, which doesn't make sense when they say it that way. It's like saying Native American Indian is being like, "Oh, I'm gonna take my automobile airplane car to work." It doesn't make any sense. India Krishna Big Temple. All right. Hey, some of the temples out there do look really nice. Like the structures are really nice. Like I think churches need to go back to that old classical style looking. Too many of them look like they could have been old Taco Bells. Hello, speaking Hindi, anyone? Oh no, I don't speak Hindi, man. Or woman, I don't know. I don't let me judge you. Sengiz says, you know Israel? I know a dude named Israel. That's a popular name in Mexican, Spanish cultures. Israel is a name. Actually, the first time I met someone named Israel, I met someone named Israel before my mom got to that chapter in the Bible where they talk about Israel. So we were stuck in Genesis chapter 1 for a bit. Let's see. Gary Warren says bald and bankrupt. Dude, sometimes I'm like, bankruptcy looks pretty good. You don't got to pay nothing back. I mean, you're screwed for like 7 years, but you don't got to pay nothing. You don't need to know, says where you're driving to. Very odd question for someone who tells everyone else they don't need to know. Nilakshi says, you Israel. No, I'm not Israel, I'm Sonny. It's literally, dude, it's on the channel. Bebisi says, you know what Jihad Jeep is? I have no idea what that is, but that sounds kind of racist. It's not, my thoughts are, you're probably going to say something racist behind that. But I don't know what it is. Let's see. Nilakshi still needs help from any Parsons. Senga says, I now know cry children. All right. MG Inc. official says, hi, I have a question. When my wife is standing outside, does that mean she is outstanding? Um, so here's the thing about wives. You're never gonna get it right. If she's outside and you say, oh, she's outstanding, she's like, incorrect, I was leaning. So either way. No, it's video game related. Savage Saint says, I can't believe Pitbull drives himself around. Driverless vehicle. Driverless vehicle. Now, if you see my body flip, it's because my driverless vehicle messed up somewhere. Monkey Boy Zach 8 says, hi, how's it going? You don't need to know, says, dang, bro, you didn't have to be mean. I was just asking, like, groceries, getting food. What are you doing? No, I'm tripped out that your handle is you don't need to know, and you're asking questions. I'm going home, though. I'm actually headed home. Nilakshi's still asking for help, everyone. Sangit says, you now, everything okay. That sounded kind of like a rap, like Trick Daddy would be rapping like that. You now, everything okay. Slip and slide. For the old heads who know who Trick Daddy is. Let's see. Sangit says, rap. I can't rap. I really wish I could rap. But I think my raps would be a mix between me trying to sound way too hardcore and me not making any sense. Well, a lot of rap doesn't make sense. That's the good thing about it. A lot of rap doesn't make any sense. MG Inc. says, now it occurred to me that if Tiger Woods were a rapper, he would be the best. He would do it the other way around. He would literally take the stage all the way to the woods. If Tiger Woods was the best, you would say Tiger is the GOAT, and that doesn't make any sense. Nathan Hazelhurst says, Diddy got 4 years, 2 months in prison. I heard that seems like a low amount, especially if there were young people involved. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. Sup says Jesus is king with a cross. Nilakshi says big issue. Okay, back to rap. I guess I could be a rapper because a lot of rap doesn't make sense anymore these days. Like some of the rap that I hear other people listening to, I don't really listen to, but I hear them listening to it. And it's just words rhyming or kind of rhyming, but it doesn't make any sense. The sentences don't make any sense. Peterson Marcus says, have you listened to Taylor Swift's new album? I'm not a, what is it called, Swiftie? I'm not a Swiftie at all. The Jack and Bunny says, where you going? I'm headed home. I like that everybody's so concerned about where I'm headed to. What if I was like, I'm just in a parking lot, guys? I'm at Walmart. Senga says, so dinosaur. Nilakshi's still asking for help. Let's see. Senga says, fake. Doesn't believe Nilakshi. The Jack and Bunny says, don't use devices while driving. We all love you. Technically, I'm not using it. My hands are right here. Stop live streaming while driving, says Ninja Juan. Ninja Juan, like Ninja, I read Ninja Juan, but I heard Ninja Juan. And I was like, oh, it's Mexican Ninja. That's what's up. MG Inc. official says, Trick Daddy was crazy in my day, and I was still growing up on Fat Joe and Nas. You know, I never got Fat Joe. Now, I was on Kill Tony, episode 728 with Greg Fitzsimmons a few weeks back, And in the comments, someone said I look like Fat Joe after he weight, and I was like, that's pretty funny. I never put that put that together in my head, but that was pretty funny. Uh, let's see. Sammy says hi. Senga says doing great. Peterson Mark says, but A Reese makes sense because he still incorporates most figures by speech of figures of speech in his songs. Could you please listen to Achilles by A Reese? I have never heard of A Reese. Might have checked it out. Ninja One says, why are you live streaming while driving? People are in danger. People are in danger everywhere. Senga says, who drives Miss Daisy? Nalakshi still asking for help. Ninja One says, I'm calling 911. Nalakshi says, money, send, please help me. Hey Ninja One, I'm in Chicago, Illinois. So let them know. Rome Collector 84, what's going on? This is any new figures you picked up recently. I was trying to reach for it earlier, but then Ninja One got mad at me. The Jack and Bunny says, no, you took life one of these deadly boys from WWE. Said Semi says hi. 2 years in the making here. Let's see if I can get him out. I forgot that I pre-ordered this from what is it? It'll come to me. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. Hold on. Four Horsemen. Four Horsemen. I was like, what is it? Cosmic Legions. This is pretty cool. I did keep him in the Texas heat for a bit, so to loosen up all those joints. Otherwise, they're tight. The last Four Horsemen figure that I got was some sorceress looking lady, and her leg snapped as soon as I took her out of the package. But he's pretty good. Like I said, I left him in the Texas sun. Sammy says, hi, hey, I just subscribed. Hey, much appreciated. Thank you very much. Ninja One says, I'm right behind you, bruh. Dude, you're the one that owns the petting zoo? Pull over, man. I want to get that wallaby. MG Inc. official says, when I was 15 or 16, we used to meet Fat Joe in front of our house. Wow, people now say he's lying, but I know personally what a beast he was. He wasn't afraid of anyone, a true gangster. You know what? That is the bad thing about when rappers become bigger. People assume they're like, oh yeah, he's not real. He has rhythm. He could never be a gangster. He has rhythm. But I know some of the local rappers here in Austin. There are some that were clearly exaggerating and playing up to the stereotypes and stuff like that. But then there are also some that I'm like, that fool's never gonna get a record deal because he can't stay out of jail. Those are the ones I usually hung out with more. But yeah, I do know. Yeah, that does suck though. Sengit says, "Yo, bro, Ghost World, put eggs." Was that my head? I like this brown egg. That's what's up. Rome Collector 84 says, "Nice coat on the fit." Yeah, man, it's a nice figure. The alternate head it comes with looks like it's trying to be Avatar for some reason. I don't know if I like it that much. The alternate head. I like the TV looking head that he has. Jack and Bunny says, what you do for earning?" I do live tube YouTube live streams is what I do. Mark Rose, what's going on, man? Says, yo, I just live streaming here, man. Replying to or reading mostly every comment that comes through. You know, actually keeps asking for help, so I kind of have been skipping a few of his. Semi J Jules says, from where are you? I feel like you're working with Ninja One, so I'm in Brazil. That's what we're gonna go with. I'm in Brazil. Peterson Marcus says, please listen to Achilles by A. Reese now. I can't do it now, dude. I'm live streaming, man. A. Reese, though. I've never heard of A. Reese. Nilakshi says, UPI, I'd send. I don't know what that is, though. Sengit says, Ninja USA, Islam, and what you saying. Who knows what I'm saying? I'm reading a lot of these things. Semi says, I'm from South Africa. That's what's up. Jax Cookson says, are you British? Why, yes, I am, Jackson. Much thanks for asking. That's my British accent. Como este hombre? I don't know what that means. Kava. Donnie Schultz says, "What up, G? What's going on, man?" Peterson Mark says, "Is semen your favorite beverage?" Nope, never tried it before. I really don't want to try it, to be honest with you. I don't want to try it. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I haven't tried it yet. I'm not gonna say that. I don't want to try it at all. Savage Saint says, "This is a trip." Yeah, the thing, Savage Saint, welcome to live streams straight through YouTube. This is the only way that YouTube will be like, we're going to show this stuff to other people. Jackson Crookson says, "I'm too." Singers is from Iberia. Jax Cookson says, "I'm fully British." Tea and crumpets. I don't know any other British stuff. Actually, I have a brother-in-law who's British. It trips me out. I always tell him, "Hey man, speaking your Texas accent sounds hilarious." The Jack and Bunny says, "Have you been to LA?" I have been to LA. Only like 2 or 3 times. Mohammed Nadim says, "Can I spam here?" That's a no, dude. I don't know. I don't know what. Oh, you know what? Shout out for you to you for asking, but yeah, I don't. Jax Cookson says, "I'm in Birmingham, Birmingham, Alabama." See, that's how you. That's how I was like Birmingham. You're in Birmingham, Alabama. You meant Birmingham, London. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not. I'm terrible at geography. Donnie Schultz says, "Jack's British people are extinct." Come on now. Senga says, "Liverpool lost from Galatasaray." The Jack and Bunny says, "Make some vlogs in LA." I haven't been to LA. Actually, I was in LA 2 years ago. I tried to do some comedy while I was there, and it didn't work out. I couldn't get on. Jax Cookson says, "Britain," I think. Muhammad Needham says, "Why I shouldn't spam here?" Because, like, if I knew you personally, I'd be like, "Yeah, go ahead and throw your stuff up there." But I don't know you personally. I don't know what you're doing, what you're about. So that's why you shouldn't spam here. You shouldn't spam just to get your word out. I'll be honest, man. Sometimes when people spam, it actually turns everybody off from them. It tends to happen that way. Oh, Birmingham, Britain. My bad. There's a Birmingham, Alabama. I think I passed through there when I was coming back from Florida. Last year I drove from Florida to Texas just to do it. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't just to do it. Muhammad says, "Exactly. It's fun." Savage Saint says, "Negotiation spamming is an interesting angle." Yeah, it is. I like that he asked though. Like that's very polite of him. That's the most polite spammer I've ever talked to. It's actually the only spammer I've ever talked to. The Jack and Bunny says, "What you think about your parents and American parents?" My parents are pretty cool. My mom snuck brass knuckles over state line, or yeah, over not state lines. She snuck them past customs for me. I mentioned that story one time. She didn't know she snuck them over for me, but she did. I told her after the fact. Jack's Cooking says, "Where are you going?" "I'm going to Birmingham, Alabama, because Ninja One still might be in here trying to call the cops on me." Donnie Schultz says, "Have you ever been to Ohio?" I have never been to Ohio. I know some people up in Ohio. Hopefully one day I'll make it out there, do some stand-up comedy, and chit-chat with the folks that I know up in Ohio. Jack's Cooking says, "Where are you going?" "Headed home." Headed home to beautiful Anaheim, California. Mohammed Needham says, "I love spamming on live streams because it messes up the chat." So here's the crazy thing about spamming. It can actually help the chat. It can help the algorithm, but it does also make people mad because they're trying to actually put comments and stuff in there. Sammy says, "Oh, you do comedy?" Yes, I've done stand up comedy for quite some time. I was on Kill Tony episode number 728. I'm gonna say that every time people ask. There's also a comedy channel, Sonny Castillo Comedy. That's my comedy channel here on YouTube. That's where I post. I started posting my clips and stuff. Donnie Schultz says, "What if I told you I'm Batman?" I'd believe it. Like before I started doing action figure photography and collecting, I didn't know there was so many Batman. I thought there was a few, but there's like 47. So you could very well be one. Singer says, "Okay, I like Muhammad Ali." You know, it took a while for me to warm up to Muhammad Ali. I was like, this guy's too cocky. He's too conceited and everything. But I was like, you know what? He's a good boxer though. And and he's not as annoying as Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is very annoying to me. I used to like when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, but when he became Money Mayweather, I was like, I'm done. Actually, I'm surprised that I don't know why I assumed Floyd Mayweather would be somehow connected to the whole Diddy thing. I just figured he would be, but he stayed clean. So shout out to Floyd Mayweather for staying clean. Uh, let's see. Needham or Muhammad Nadim says, "Don't worry, I won't spam here. It seems like you're a good guy." Hey, thanks a lot, man. Jax Cookson says, "My aunt is in America, or my aunt is in America." Jax Cookson says, "What car are you in?" Man, if Ninja One is still here, he's calling the cops on me. So I am in a 2007 Lexus. The Jack and Bunny says, "What you think, Juice World and Extension?" So I'm not like I never really heard much of what they have. I know Juice World is on I think that Eminem song, but he just sings the hook. That's the only time I've ever really heard of Juice World. Because he died, right? He passed away. Singer says Lexus luxury. Yeah, I'm not actually in a Lexus. I don't I I have a car brand that I'm very loyal to. It's not Lexus though. There are some nice Lexuses out there though. I will say that. My mother-in-law actually drives a Lexus, and sometimes she's like, "Here, drive my car." I drive it. I'm not too impressed, but I drive it. Let's see. Muhammad Needham says, "Where are you from?" I gotta keep throwing everyone off the sync in case Ninja One is here. But I'm in America. We'll say that. Savage Saint says, "Oh, I am spamming. My bad." Savage Saint is spamming about the spam questions. Jax Cookson says, "I'm not calling Popo." I know Ninja One was like, "I'm calling the police on you." So I gotta stay. What's the word? What's the word? Hidden? Not hidden. Hidden's not the word I'm looking for. I gotta stay mysterious. We'll go with that. Bob says, "I only drive luxury. That's why I drive a Nissan Sentra." Oh snap! Baller alert. Probably got some 13-inch hubcaps on there. All right, I'm gonna have to wait till this car goes. All right. Let's see. Donnie Schultz says, What if I told you life is a highway? I'm gonna ride it all night long." I think that's the best next words of that. Jax Cookson says, "I'm 9." Hey, I don't know if you mean 9 years old or you think you're 9. When people ask me, they're like, "Sonny, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you consider yourself?" I'm like 4.7. But I can make people laugh sometimes, so 4.8. Jax Cook says, "I'm a kid." Singer says, Mother, so." The Jack and Money says, "Bro wants sponsor to take name of his car." Donnie Schultz says, "LOL." Jax Cook says, "I'm 9-year-old." I don't know how you're on here. I put not for kids on this one. Vladimir Utin says, "Hey, what's up, homie? What's going on, Vladimir? Thanks for joining, Vladimir. We got a colorful cast of people here. I shouldn't have said colorful. Colorful sounds racist. We have a diverse group of people in here." Singer says, "I see dreaming." Jax Cooker says, "Year 5." I'm 5. I'm not 5. Dash the Blaze says, "OMG Pitbull, you my favorite rapper." Donnie Show says, "Vladimir, what's up, dude?" Singer says, "Always there." Vladimir says, "Subs and like. Done, brother." Hey, I appreciate you very much, man. Thank you for doing that. I like when people are like, "I'm a sub, I ride." Unless people are like, "I'm a sub, I identify as a sub." And I'm like, "Whoa, what? What?" Like the sandwich meats? And they're like, "No, like I need someone to tell me what to do." I'm like, "Oh, okay. That makes sense." First time someone told me that, they're like, "I'm a sub, my wife is a Dom." And I was like, "What? I've never heard of a Dom at Firehouse Subs or Subway." And then I Googled it, and I should have never Googled it. It messed up my algorithm completely. And then my algorithm followed me because I was using Facebook, and it followed me to work where I also opened up Facebook. And I was like, "Oh crap, all my ads were directed weird." It was giving me like a bunch of ads for these like leather dog face masks or something like that. I almost bought one because I was like, I'm kind of curious, but I didn't buy one. I found out what they cost, and I was like, "Oof, never mind." Does AliExpress have these? My goodness, these are expensive. But I didn't buy one after all. Let's see. Fireworks. Okay, so Donnie does identify as sub. Toasted or untoasted, though? That's the question. Jess Cookin says fireworks. Vladimir Utin says, Donnie, I'm good, brother. How about you, brother? Rome Collector 84 says, did you get anything from going to the Kill Tony show? I did. I got the big joke book. So I did good enough to get the big joke book. I didn't get anything else from out of that. When I walked backstage, a lot of them were surprised that they didn't ask me to be on another show, which is the secret show. So they were kind of like, "Oh, you didn't get this?" I was like, "Nah, they didn't tell me." I should have said yes, and then they booked me for no reason. Donnie Schultz says, "Brother, I'm good, thanks. How about you, brother?" Vladimir says, "I'm good, brother. I appreciate you." Jax Cookson says, "Bye, later, Jax Cookson. Go enjoy being a 9-year-old, homie." News you could see with the award ribbon. What's up, young man? How's it going? Sangis says, "Why are you doing this, bro?" You know what? People ask me all the time about all sorts of things that I do. They're like, "Why are you doing this?" I don't know. Just to do it sometimes. News you could see says tapping in from South Africa. Oh, that's what's up. We had another person from South Africa. And then someone from Birmingham, Alabama. Jax Cooker says, "See you. See you later, man." Why am I doing this? Oh yeah, because it kills my time on my commute home. My commute home here in beautiful Athens, Georgia. Vladimir Uta says, "What's the topic, bro?" Actually, there was no topic. I started off and then people started asking random questions or commenting, and I'll just read everything. I read a bunch of comments that come up. Then I start talking off of those comments. So if you like a topic, I got like I don't know, 6 minutes left till I get home. Too much brain rot, says Jax Cookson. Brain rot is a serious thing, I think. I think that's what happens when you drink lean. Savage Saint says, Mr. Worldwide spreads laughter. Why question the motives? I like that. I like that very much. Thank you, Savage Saint. Vladimir Uta says, "Oh, just a random Q&A. Cool. Yeah, just pretty much. It is what it is. I'll answer whatever." Jax Cookson says, "I came back." Hey, welcome back, Jax. It's been a while. It's been a while since we talked. Donnie Schultz says, "Brother, I'm coming in hot from Cincinnati, Ohio." Man, that's what's up. The people I know in Ohio are in Canton, Ohio. I believe is where they're at. I still need to make my way up there. It's only last time I checked, I think it's like a 14-hour drive. I don't like to fly in planes because then I got to rent a car. When I was like, I have a car. Why would I rent one? That's like if I went out of town and hired an escort. I have a wife. Why would I need another one? News you could use. Who would you want to see live in concert, dead? Live in concert, dead or alive? DMX. I never got to see him in concert. I would love to have seen DMX in concert. Unfortunately, I've never seen him. Though, if alive, the only other person that I've wanted to see in concert that's alive, not alive in concert, that's weird. The only other person that I haven't seen that I want to see is David Banner. Haven't got a chance to see him yet. Senga says, "Bro, next wife import." Vladimir Uta says, "Much love from Vladivostok, Russia, my brothers." Sammy says, "Well, glad I came across your last. You seem so nice. Gonna go now. Enjoy the week. Take care." Hey, you too. Appreciate you coming through, Sammy. Donnie Schultz says, "Jax, what do you want to be when you grow up?" Senga says, "You lose, bro." Uh, yeah, Jax, what do you want to be when you grow up? That's a weird question. I shouldn't ask kids that. Um, Jax, what are your parents? No, that's I can't ask a kid no question. Like it's weird no matter what I do. I can't ask. I can ask my kid questions. That's cool, but I can't ask a strange kid questions. That would be kind of awkward. They'd be like, "What did the weird man say to you?" "Oh, he asked me what my parents did for a living." Like, dang it. Because they're like, "Oh, he did that to try to figure out when they're not gonna be home." No, I don't. I don't even live in Birmingham, Alabama. Why would I do that? Donnie Schultz says, "Why did it be weird to ask what they want to be?" No, I'm saying like me on camera. You can do it. You're in chat. You can do that just fine. Senga says, "I speak you. How do you feel about Trump and the farm tariffs?" I don't like tariffs at all, man. I used to buy import figures. Now I can't because they're too expensive. Vladimir Utin says, "You're a good brother. Continue being so." I appreciate you, man, Vladimir. Shout out to Vladimir tuning in from Russia. We have all people from everywhere around here. I like that. Jazz Cooking says, "A girl is exploding a pumpkin." That's dope. She sounds like a keeper, Jackson. If she's your age, you should be like, hey, what's up? Can I have your phone number and country code? She'd be like, my phone number is, oh, she'd be British. My phone number is plus a 44 1188 63 space 8498. The letter B for biscuit. I don't know how London, Britain works exactly. I'm still learning. Still learning about countries and stuff. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm almost home though. I got like 3 minutes, 2 minutes at most. Singing says wise best. That's right. Wise and best. Two amazingly good adjectives. I like when people throw adjectives out there. Donnie Show says, Jax, do you see hobos around Birmingham? Oh, I love the word hobos, dude. Jax Cooking says, are you ending live when you get home? Yeah, I'm ending it when I get home. Because then I got to talk to my kids. Be like, what's up, dude? What's up, fool? What you doing? JD's 617 Gaming says, hey, man, shout out Mike Hawk. Happy Friday. That's Tony Hawk's brother, by the way. Jax Cookson says, not much. But yeah, no, I'm already getting in my neighborhood. Y'all can probably tell I live in the suburbs. Suburbs, if Ninja One is still here, suburbs of Rochester, New York. I live here. Dang fool, why you stopping in the middle of the road? Dude, move your van, dummy. All right, let's see. Is hobo derogatory? I don't think it is. I like the word hobo back in the day. When I thought hobo, I thought silly clown makeup for some reason with the little stick with the little bag on it. Vladimir says, send my regards to your kids and wife. I will. I'll be like, hey, Vladimir Utsin says, what's up? Sengit says, bro, I won't live long. My children also. That's, I mean, if you're planning it, you should probably plan to live longer. Vladimir Utin says, may God bless you all. Hey, God bless you too, Vladimir Utin. Donnie Schultz says, Jax, can you give some life advice? Jax Cooker says, nah, it's called homeless people. People started calling them unhoused, and that sounds weird. I don't unhoused. I don't. Unhoused doesn't make sense to me. But I'm about to pull up to my house. So shout out to everyone who came through. It's been fun. It's been weird. Mostly been fun too at the same time. So y'all have yourselves a great weekend. Thanks for everyone who hit the like button, who subscribed, who commented. Shout out to Savage Saint popping through, Rome Collector, and Mark. Was it Mark Rose popped through here? Shout out to everyone. Savage Saint says, got a dip. Have a good one. Hit me up. I'm going Thursday. Like and subscribe. Sunday is one of the good ones. Get a life, says Jax Cooks. Uh, yeah. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Y'all have yourselves a great weekend. Unless you're like in the other side of the world and your weekend's already started, enjoy the rest of your weekend. See y'all next time.